So, I have an older sister who's been my lifelong best friend. I always thought she was more popular, smarter, funnier, and prettier than me. She seemed to be achieving things so effortlessly that it would have taken me much longer and more effort to get. Things like good grades, popularity, and relationships. At the same time, I hated how ugly, unintelligent, awkward, and incompetent I was. At least that's how I felt about myself. I could hardly imagine anyone else, aside from my family, potentially loving this scrawny, unattractive girl. And this journey to gradually overcome self-doubt and building confidence to create a path towards my goals took me nearly 20 years. And I'm proud to say that in this journey, from that scrawny girl with low self-esteem, I became a model, a valedictorian, multiple scholarship earner, a wife to a man that I truly love, and a designer at a major tech company in Silicon Valley. While others may have achieved greater feats, reflecting on my past reveals how far I came along and significant personal growth. So let me share my journey of overcoming an inferiority complex, and I hope this will offer mindset shift and proven strategies to overcoming your own inferiority complex. And if you battle with this too, you will learn actionable ways to boost confidence for more victories in your life. So keep watching. I mentioned earlier how I always felt inferior towards my sister despite being close with her. Growing up, I was able to witness her interactions with friends, reputations, and accomplishments up close. And it was just hard for me to not compare myself with her because she was popular, always got straight A's, teachers seemed to really like her, and she was always dating someone. Meanwhile, I was just this invisible, quiet, and not so academically proficient girl. I never dated any guy until I entered college, and I only had a handful of friends, and even amongst them, I was never the main character. But drawing was the only skill that I felt confident about. When other kids noticed my drawing and reacted, I felt visible. And when I turned 14, our family moved to Canada from Korea, and I immediately entered an ESL class. And my ESL teacher was this vivacious and friendly white lady who radiated so much energy that initially I found it a tad overwhelming and even a bit intimidating. But as time went on, I discovered her genuine care for me. One day, she stumbled upon a drawing of mine submitted for her homework, and she said, "Oh my god, you're a fantastic artist. You have to enter this poster contest for cyberbullying." Despite my skepticism about the contest's impact, I decided to take a leap of faith. So I submitted my drawing for this contest, and surprisingly, I won. And my drawing was featured on this community calendar. So that was the first notable win in my life. At this point, my first tip for overcoming an inferiority complex is to embrace your initial success. It's the cornerstone of your wins. Whatever it is and how significant it is, your first success can give you confidence and validation that you're capable of anything you want. I bet there's gotta be at least one time that you have or you will accomplish something you wished for. That's exactly what happened after I won the poster contest. I was able to embrace that success, which fueled my self-confidence that I could achieve other things I wanted. At that time, I wanted to enter this public art high school that required a portfolio, so I created and submitted other work along with that poster. And I got accepted to that school, and that sort of created this chain effect. And this cycle will have a compound effect to strengthen your confidence and self-belief. If you can't think of any success in your past, you can just start by thinking of something as small as getting compliments on a school assignment that you've put in a lot of work, befriending with a classmate that you've always liked, or being the first person to cross the finish line at the end of a race. It doesn't matter how big of a success it is. As long as it's something that you really wanted to accomplish and you put in your best effort, it can debunk your negative belief about yourself and serve as a living proof that you're more competent and capable than you think. If you still can't think of any of your past successes, I promise that time will eventually come, and you just have to seize that opportunity to lean onto it and really try to shift your belief on yourself. So the next point I want to make is that you have to expand your history of your victories, aka victory log. I told you earlier how your successes over a previous success will create this compound effect, and you want to fully leverage that by creating your victory log. It doesn't have to be fancy. All you need is an easily accessible system, whether it's your notes app or a small notebook that you can jot down a list of your wins, however big or small they are. And you want to remind yourself of all these victories throughout your life as a way to motivate yourself to accomplish more, and it can also be an ever-evolving living proof that you can achieve more and anything if you wish. As I progressed with more victories throughout my life, I also decided to create my own victory log. And whenever I had self-doubts, I would always look back to it and remind myself that I've achieved a lot. So I'm a capable person and I can expand my success to other areas in my life. And I'll share my Notion victory log template that you can use to record and organize your own personal wins throughout your life. Link will be provided below in the description. Anyway, after I entered that art high school, I was able to enjoy lots of opportunities to try various things because I could take different art classes such as music, visual art, photography, writing, along with other extracurricular activities such as jazz band, choir, and school publication club, and yearbook group as well. Although my primary major was visual art, being exposed to and actively seeking for breadth of experiences allowed me to be flexible, nimble, and open-minded. This is where I want to introduce my next point. Be cautious of self-constructed identity. Let me explain why this matters. From a revolutionary perspective, humans have evolved to have an aversion towards unknown risks as a part of an adaptive strategy for survival. Because taking unnecessary risks could lead to injury, death, or even a reduction in reproductive success. In environments where resources were scarce, avoiding unnecessary dangers, maintaining a cautious approach increased the likelihood of survival. Meanwhile, in the modern world, the situation is very different from our ancestral environment. But these risk aversion tendencies still remain in our behaviors, even when taking risks can often yield higher chances of mating, promotions, success, and innovation. So why am I bringing this up? Because this cautious behavioral tendency can limit our identities and opportunities. Just because you've identified yourself as someone introverted and shy doesn't mean that you can never have charisma and enjoy social gathering. And just because you think you're not athletic doesn't mean that you can't train yourself to be an amateur basketball player. We have to be cautious of this self-constructed image we have of ourselves and never let that be our true identity. That's why I'm grateful to have had opportunities to experience and try various activities in high school. I also want to tell you another story from my high school experience. You know how I thought I wasn't attractive enough, especially when I believed that my sister is much prettier? And there was one episode when this Korean girl in my class asked her guy friend in front of me, asking whether she was prettier or I was prettier. And that guy said, "You're prettier to this girl." And I still remember her proud face. That was such a weird and immature question she could ask in front of my face as a high schooler. So when I became grade 11, I decided to try modeling because I knew that being a tall Asian girl is not a common thing, and I could use my height for a new opportunity that could prove not only them, but myself wrong that I wasn't attractive enough. So one day, I signed contract with a local modeling agency, and throughout the next 4 years, I was able to be on several fashion shows and have various photo shoots while being paid. Eventually, I decided it wasn't really my path to continue pursuing because I wanted to pursue design, but it was still a wonderful, break-free experience to demolish the self-constructed image of myself and build more confidence. The next point I want to make is about the power of visualization. I think there's no other way that you can vividly experience what it would be like to have achieved your goal or have become the ideal version of yourself other than visualization. According to the Cambridge Dictionary, visualization is the act of visualizing something or someone, or forming a picture of it in your mind. Visualization is a wonderful tool you can use anytime, anywhere for free to project an inner image of your deepest desires and let them manifest within yourself as a way to inspire yourself and boost confidence. Does it actually work? In fact, Visualization has been studied in various fields, and research suggested that it can offer numerous benefits. A study published in the Journal of Sport and Exercise Psychology found that basketball players who used mental imagery techniques for free throw shooting showed improvement in their actual performance. Also, research in the Journal of Applied Sports Psychology has explored the impact of visualization on goal achievement, indicating that it can enhance motivation and contribute to success. Because I'm such an imaginative person, I tend to use visualization to achieve many of my goals I truly want, which then contribute to boosting my self-confidence. Here are some steps that you can take to try visualization. First, you have to clearly define your goal. The more detailed and specific, the better. Then, it's ideal if you can find a quiet and comfortable space where you can be focused without distractions. In that space, you want to try relaxing your body and mind, such as through deep breathing or muscle relaxation. Next, you would close your eyes and imagine the successful realization of your goal. For example, you can imagine yourself being a confident, social, and outgoing person. You want to then engage all of your senses and picture the details and emotions associated with becoming that person. Imagine what you would feel like to be respected and standing out from your peers, your friends' expressions full of admiration towards you, or making everyone laugh and having a great time during social gathering. All of these can be visualized with lots of details in your mind. It's important to frame your visualization in a positive light by focusing on the benefits, the positive emotions, and the sense of achievement. And try to visualize not only the end result, but also the detailed steps you will take to reach your goals. These will eventually lead to your actions. Otherwise, your visualization will always stay as your imagination. And then you need to take concrete actions to achieve your goals in the real world. Because you're taking inspired actions, you'll unlikely waste time trying to come up with excuses to not pursue them and feel like these are not chores or arduous efforts because you've already tasted what it feels like to be in that realized state. Try to repeat this practice regularly as it can help reinforce the positive images in your mind and help you come up with more clear and concrete ways to get there. The next point I want to make is that you have to face your inferiority complex at one point. Inferiority complexes can be a source of motivation for self-development because it can make you actively seek out aspects of yourself that need improvement, and you can make efforts to work on them. When I noticed my inferiority complex towards my sister, I realized that I wasn't as smart as her. Although IQ is not what makes up the entirety of one's intelligence, I just knew that I might not be able to enjoy the same level of advantages she may enjoy in her life by putting the same amount of effort as hers. So I told myself that I have to put in extra efforts throughout my life in order to at least even out. I definitely acknowledge that this sort of grew a competitive nature within me, but ultimately to better myself in many aspects. So while we were in the same high school, I always try to catch up to my sister. When she got straight A's, I studied extra hard to eventually get straight A's, if not 1 or 2 B's at the most. Eventually, I graduated the high school as a valedictorian. After graduating from college, I went into a career that I wished to get in and became a designer in a major tech company. I genuinely believe that without facing my own inferiority, I wouldn't have been able to notice my inadequacy and try hard to grow. Also, you can shift your own inferiority complex to humility. By acknowledging your own inadequacy and imperfections, you can stay away from becoming full of yourself and understand the difficult journey that everyone goes through. We all know that life isn't a fair game, but at the same time, we know that everyone isn't born perfect and everyone goes through hardships in their lives. What inferiority complex taught me is that as humans, we all share the sense of shame, lack of confidence, struggles, and jealousy. So I want to encourage you to face your own inferiority complex rather than avoiding it, and you can be a more mature and humble person than ever. The next story I want to tell you is when I was still in college. In my second year, I was trying to apply for this exchange study program, and from all the school options, I really wanted to go to this school in New York called the Cooper Union. This college was renowned for their great design and architectural programs, and it was also known for providing full scholarships to students who get accepted. So I wanted to give myself an opportunity to study with such talented and driven students, although I knew that the chances were quite slim, even for this exchange study program, because they would only select one student from my school to send to the school. And while I was preparing for my application, I ran into this other girl during my commute to school. Let's call her Anna for the sake of this story. I knew Anna because she was one of my sister's friends, and we were just catching up on how we were doing, etc. Then I told her that I was trying to get accepted to this exchange program for the Cooper Union, and she just scoffed at me, saying, "Hey, don't even dream of getting accepted." I was so shocked by how cynical she was, because she didn't know how much effort I was putting in for my portfolio and maintaining good grades at school. When I went back home, I told that story to my mom, and she said, "Just ignore what she said. You never know until you see the outcome. Don't let her comment bother you and just keep trying. I think you can get in." In the end, my mom was right. I got accepted to the program, and I was able to go to New York to attend the Cooper Union, and I had such an amazing time there. The reason why this episode stays so vividly in my memory is because it taught me an important life lesson to distance myself from negative voices that will foster doubts. If I let the negative girl's comment sit in my belief system, then I probably wouldn't have been able to get in. So stay away from those who bring negativity towards your dream and goals, and instead, try to surround yourself with those who can cheer for you and plant the seed of possibility for your success. And just keep pursuing what you really want. That's a fast track to your success and building confidence. Also, as your success accumulates, you'll naturally be surrounded by more people who are successful and inspiring. My last tip for beating inferiority complex is to become a giver. I've read so many stories of successful people who mention the importance of being a giver. Ever heard there are 3 types of people in life based on Lois Lowry's novel? There's the receiver, the matcher, and the giver. You should always distance yourself from the receiver for these entitled folks that always expect to receive from others but never give out. The matchers are those who would only give when they receive. The giver, on the other hand, will not hesitate to give because they believe in the value of giving. It doesn't mean that they'll always give tangible goods. They can give empathy, love, and genuine support, or share valuable knowledge and promote altruism. Givers also contribute to their success by building positive relationships, enhancing leadership skills, and fostering an environment for growth and innovation. To be honest, I haven't been practicing the giving in my life as much as I wish. I also believe that even creating YouTube contents like this is an act of giving because I'm sharing valuable insights that might help you live a better life and succeed. Creating contents like this takes a significant amount of time and effort because I need to do my own self-reflection, research, readings, write contents, shoot and edit videos. But I love doing this because when I get comments like, "Your video is helpful," or "Your content helped me do XYZ, it gives such amazing feelings and makes me truly happy. So if this video is in any way helpful to you, I would love to hear your story in the comment section. And it would be even better if you can like this video and subscribe. Besides, by creating contents like this, I also get to learn a lot about life, human psychology, marketing, business, and so on. So it ultimately benefits me. And this eventually adds to my confidence and helps reframe who I am as a person. I encourage you to be a giver by sharing your story, knowledge, time, and many other values that you can offer. You need to experience what it feels like to be a giver to really enjoy what life has to offer to you. Ralph Waldo Emerson said the only person you're destined to become is the person you decide to be. At this point, I hope I was able to convince you that an inferiority complex is not necessarily a bad thing. It can actually be a blessing in disguise that can help you overcome your own fear, limitations, and negative perception about yourself, and it can act as a catalyst for your growth and maturity. So I want to humbly say, face your inferiority complex and use it as a coordinate to your next accomplishment. Just don't dwell on your negative emotions it can bring in your life. I hope this story gave you some useful insights, and if so, Please like and subscribe for more contents like this. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye!